Hi everybody, welcome back to another episode of Breed Review. I'm Liam Murphy, and today I'll be reviewing the Australian Shepherd. Alright guys, so the Australian Shepherd is not from Australia. It's an American breed. I don't know why it's called the Australian Shepherd. There are theories that some dogs are brought over from Australia and they use some of those dogs to breed them with existing collies and things like that, but there's no exact information, so not important in the review, so we'll move on. In one area where the name does make sense is they are a herding breed. Nowadays they're still used as a herding dog, worked on farms and ranches and things like that, but also very popular as companion dogs and very popular in dog sports such as agility, flyball, activities such as that. They're also a very useful service dog, search and rescue, and very, very versatile, fun breed. They have a long water resistant, not waterproof, kind of like my raincoat. It's nice and long. It needs to be brushed about once a week at a minimum. They have an undercoat as well that will shed a lot in the springtime, so very heavily shedding breed. They resemble the Border Collie a lot. They're very closely related to them. Their coat comes in a multitude of different colors, merle and tricolor and all types of them. There's a bunch of different ones. And also a lot of times with Australian Shepherds you see that they have one blue eye or sometimes both are blue. They weigh anywhere between 40 and 60 pounds, so not a very big dog. So I'd say they're more of like a medium to large size dog. Alright, so what do you say we get into the review? Let's talk about health. Now these guys have a few health concerns, the main one being eye problems. Hip dysplasia would be another concern of mine, and my third would be epilepsy. But like I always say, if you do your research and you go to a good breeder who does the necessary tests, you have a higher chance of having a much healthier dog going forward. Their lifespan is anywhere between 10 and 14 years. So good solid life expectancy for these guys, which is really great. So for health for these guys, I'm gonna give them a score of a 3.5. All right, so let's get into temperament. Aside from being liars and saying that they're from Australia when they're not, they have a pretty decent temperament. Now, they are a working dog, so they're a very, very intense dog. Very loyal dog. They consider them to be a Velcro dog, meaning that they always want to be around their owner. They're kind of like your shadow. You're walking around and next thing you know, you turn around, there's a dog looking at you. Anywhere you go, they follow you. They want to be right next to you. Personally, not in personal relationships, but I like that in dog relationships. Now, like I said, they are a working dog, so they can be very intense. Now, consider they get enough exercise and you work them appropriately, these guys can have a very wonderful temperament. Generally really good with other dogs. I would say they're okay with kids. I wouldn't put them as, I definitely want to classify them as great with kids. Sure, some of them can be, especially if you get them as a puppy first. But if you have kids after that, I find that that can be a little bit more challenging. I was gonna say don't have kids. If you have an Australian Shepherd, don't have kids. Great birth control, you guys. No, but it's easier having the children first, then getting the dog. You know, not necessarily because they're aggressive, but like I said, like many breeds, like Border Collies, Australian cattle dogs, these guys are shepherds and they're herding dogs. So they have very strong natural herding instinct. So when little kids are running around, it can definitely trigger their herding instincts. In which case they may be nippy, try to move the kids around like they would livestock and try to herd them together, especially if you have a group of them running around. So with kids, I'd say not particularly great. Sure, you can have some nervousness and anxiety with these guys. Like I said, they want to be around their owners a lot. They are very clingy. They're stage 5 clingers, so they do want to be around their owners a lot. When you leave them, you can see some separation anxiety. But again, as I always say, if they're given the right amount of exercise and training, then that's not going to be an issue. And we'll talk about those two things later. Temperament for these guys, I'm going to give them a 4 for temperament. 4. Okay, so let's talk about activity. Very, very active breed. I'm gonna start off right away by telling you there are 5 for activity. You have to be a very active person for these dogs. They need a minimum of about 3 hours of exercise, play, and training. They need their minds and bodies stimulated often. These are the type of dog that they'll be laying down like this 1 second right before they go to sleep, pop up, do wind sprints around your house, and go right back down and lay down again. I mean, they're a very intense dog, kind of like me. I'm a lot similar like that. Now, I know a lot of times you guys see that these guys are kind of chilled out and relaxed on the couch. He's went for a really long hike, that's why he's a little bit wet. I almost went with another Aussie because his hair, he just wasn't having a very good hair day. But I'm like, hey, whatever, I never have good hair days and I'm still always on camera, so. Fishing for a compliment. My hair stinks, you guys, I hate it. It looks so stupid. No, you're not, Liam, you're great. Or more like, yep, totally agree. Get back to the dogs, Ace Ventura. Getting back to the dogs, per your request. Bentley will be here for this 20 minutes so that I film this, and he'll be ready to go right back out again and hit the trail or rejoin the play group and go at it very hard. I mean, they need a very little bit of rest to get right back at it. Again, they were bred to herd all day long. Now, a great activity for these guys is something like dog sports, like agility. Guarantee that they'll be successful at it. Agility is a great one. Flyball is another excellent one. The dogs definitely benefit from it. They get a sense of that they've been working all day, getting a lot of their energy out, using their minds, using their brains, working with you. It's a great sport because they get to work alongside you. Find a place that does offer agility and definitely enroll them in it. You'll have a blast. The dog will have a blast, and it will really help with their energy level. They can make great running partners, although I'm not a huge fan of running with dogs. Not so much because I think it's bad for them. I just hate running. Why are we doing this? What's coming after us? Not a great dog for apartment living. This is a dog that needs, a big backyard that at any moment you can let out and run. Overall, activity for these guys, like I said, 5. All right, so let's talk about trainability. Now, a very highly trainable dog. These guys can learn a ton of different commands. That's why they make great herding dogs. There's a lot that goes into it. They also make great service dogs. And like all very smart dogs, you need to stay consistent with their training, obviously, but you also have to constantly be working their brains. And every day you should be working on their training, every single day. Not just through their puppyhood and when they become adults, okay, they got it. No, they want their brains exercised all the time. Always teach them new things. I'm not saying you have to turn your dog into a circus dog, and that's not it. What I'm saying is you have to keep their brains active. You should always be finding different things for them to learn. Anything that you can do to continually train these guys is going to benefit them in the long run. Okay, so for trainability for these guys, I'm going to give them a 5. All right, guys, that's it. That's the Australian Shepherd. Got a lot of requests for this breed for good reason. They're a very popular dog right now. Again, for the right people. Let's go over some pros real quick. Very smart, intelligent, loyal dog. Not really any aggression issues with these guys. Like I said, they're very smart, great working dog. If you're an active person, this is a great companion for you. Cons for these guys, they're a very active dog. If you're not an active person, these will not make a good companion for you. If you're not active, these guys will become very, very destructive. Absolutely, they'll destroy your house for sure. Your slippers, your best fanny pack, they don't care, they'll destroy it. And also their temperament can be affected by it as well. You'll see a lot more higher anxiety in them, sometimes depression. So if you're not an active person, please stay away from this breed. Stick to a breed that requires a little bit less. Not great for apartment living as well. These guys would do best in a house setting with a big yard. They do require a lot of grooming. They need at least minimum weekly brushing, and they shed a lot, especially in the springtime. Overall, I find these guys to be awesome dogs. They're very popular for a good reason. Not a ton of health issues, but there are some to be concerned about. I remember, like I said, you guys, just make sure you're going to a good breeder. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate it. We hit our goal, you guys, of 1,000 over the weekend. I appreciate it. I guess my only goal going forward right now is to just continue to do these if people like them, because I love doing them. They're a lot of fun. So thank you guys again. Really appreciate it. If you're not a subscriber, go ahead and subscribe. Also, leave me comments. I'd love to hear what you guys have to say. Try to respond to as many as I can. You guys have been fantastic. A lot of great questions on there. Really appreciate it. We have a long list compiled of a lot of requests, so some really great ones. So looking forward to doing those. We're checking them off, you guys. We're working at it. We're trying to get each of them done. But really appreciate it. Keep those comments coming. You guys have been great. Again, I hope you guys had an awesome day. Thank you so much for coming by and spending some time with us. I really appreciate it. We'll see you on the next one. Bye, guys. Come on, Ben. Oh, my knees. Oh, God, I'm getting old.
There goes a sight from my soul.